Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to MotorMotion Supercars Series here. Round 3, we're heading over to Japan. We're going to the Autopolis International Racing Circuit. We are live with the Brock lobby. We do have Johnson and Richard's lobby being hosted at the same time. So I am a little bit early. Obviously, qualifying does begin at 8:25 for 10-15 minutes, I think it is. So yeah, it's going to be a pretty interesting one here at Autopolis. So we'll run through the setup here. So we've got a 20-minute sprint, then a 40-minute race. 20-minute sprint will be sorted by qualifying, and then the 40-minute will be a complete reverse grid. Tonight was the debut of Kris Lashbrook alongside me. Unfortunately, he has come down with sickness, so hopefully he's getting better, and obviously getting better with his little young one Jar. So hats off to him, man, and hopefully you get better, and we should see you out next time. Unfortunately, it won't be at Bathurst. I am going to be in Bathurst myself, so I don't think that round will be broadcast, but that'll be obviously updated to you guys by Jeff and the admin team. So wait and see about that one. But here we have it, ladies and gentlemen. So coming into the second race of the Japanese leg, we did come from Kyoto Driving Park in Yamagiwa format. We did see Dis Wood in Dan Wood take out the race 1 win, followed by Lewis Atkinson and Robert Foster in Rolls Can Hardly. So Monica Camilleri, she had some pretty good tyre life in the Mustang there. So yeah, she did pretty well. Unfortunately, we didn't see her move up the field, but would have been good to see her see what pace she can get. I think I'm definitely have some high hopes from her towards the end of the series here. But obviously, Colin, Mackenzie, and Scott with a did not start, and then all the other results here on screen. And we'll head over to race 2. We had Robert Foster take out the race 2 results in front of Dan Wood, and Morgan Davey came through the field. He had a solid performance there. Lewis Atkinson, who come through in P2, unfortunately couldn't get through the field there, same as Dan Wood and Robert Foster. Nick Pitasso had a pretty good performance there coming through in P4. As always, as per race 1, we had Colin, Mackenzie, and Scott as the did not start, and then we had Span have a late disconnect in the race. Heading over to the Johnson lobby, we had Van der Zandt take out race 1 win in that one, with Johnson and Crow rounding out the podium for that one. Then we head over to race 2. We had Crow followed by Alexander and Johnson. So they're doing not too bad over there. It would be good if I can jump into one of those lobbies in the near future. It would be pretty good to see. So. But then heading over to Richard's lobby, we had Tony Griffin take out that race 1 win. Pacheco come through for race 2, and then Ench, apologies if I pronounce that incorrectly, come through for P3 there for race 1. Race 2 we had Churchill come through, Tony Griffin, and then Scott Barlow round out the podium. We then move over to the Brock Lobby standings. So we have Robert Foster, 378 points, ahead of Monica Camilleri on 298, closely followed by Nick Pitasso on 294. So that's going to be a pretty spicy fight come the end of the season. We head over to the Johnson lobby. We have Crow on 364 points. Then we have Johnson on 350 and Van der Zandt on 320. So that's going to be a spicy fight as well. Quite a close running there between everyone there from say P4 all the way down to P6. So that's gonna be interesting. We head over to the Richards lobby. We have Tony Griffin leading this one on 348 points. Then Pacheco coming through P2, and then Bagnall in P3. So it's going to be a pretty interesting title fight coming towards the end of it. We move over to the team standings. We have Colin Racing Team in P1 at the moment on 696 points, followed by CP Motorsports on 643, and then Juiced Motorsport on 622. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting fight, not only in the Drivers' Championship, but also in the teams as well. So, got to keep an eye on that one coming towards the end of the series, because we're going to see these points absolutely either blow out or be very, very close to each other come the end of the season here. As always, follow MotorMotion on Facebook. Head over to the internet at motormotionseries.wordpress.com, and then obviously follow us on Facebook so you can get yourself involved. Um, and coming up this weekend, obviously we are partnered with Trackstars Racing Series. They're like our big brother. You know, you probably hear me commentate over there. I am admin of Trackstars, so we are partnered. Trackstars with MotorMotion. You know, we're MotorMotion here. We're kind of like Trackstars' little brother. So you know, runs fairly similar, but no, we series a little bit different, and it's pretty good. But catch all the live races for those guys, 6 o'clock Sunday nights, then followed by 8 o'clock as well. This weekend we have the Kyoto 500 for the main series Trackstars Touring Car Series. Unfortunately, we were going to be at High Speed Ring, but coming through a lot of issues with the wall riding and High Speed Ring Turn 2 issues and stuff like that. So, fortunately, we've had to have a bit of a track change, but yeah, head over to our Facebook page at Trackstars Racing Series. Find all the info over there. Head over and join into our Discord where everything takes place down there. Subscribe, obviously, to MotorMotion on YouTube, and like, follow, share it around, and then same thing for Trackstars. But in saying that, we'll head over to the warm up here for the Rock Hobby. Please do let me know if the audio levels are a bit wonky so I can adjust it. But we've got Foster out to an early lead. Here, jeez, is real handy there. But in saying that, I'm going to leave you guys for 1 quick second because jump on board with the bright pink. As they say, Queen of the Road. I think that's probably a self title, but even if it is, mate, Monica Cavalieri is doing a fantastic job this year for the Shawfire Supercars Series. Here, obviously, Series 2, Season 2, my apologies. But yeah, I shall be back very shortly. In the meantime, grab a drink, grab some food, and then watch these boys and girls race these cars for 60 minutes tonight. But in the meantime, I shall be back very shortly. mandatory tyre in race 1 is... I was forced to get really loose there. On the exit there too. So race 1 is a 20-minute sprint, no mandatory tyre, but then 40-minute race, reverse grid. They will have a racing medium tyre they need to use. So they're just about to go into a driver's briefing, and then we will head into qualifying at 8:25 local time, which is in roughly about 7 minutes. Obviously led by GLR Scotty, so we won't be seeing Ando. It looks like we're missing a couple of other drivers as well. One being same as last week. We are missing Colin. We are missing Rick as well. Peter McKenzie we're missing too. Morgan Davies haven't seen. Oh, he is here. Never mind for Black Rose Racing. So no, he's not. So yeah, it's going to be a interesting on Melbourne. Melbourne, I am faint. I shall turn myself up. Apologies about that one. So you're not gallivanting all over the world tonight. Well, today, depending on where you would have been. But yeah. Well, hopefully you can enjoy watching the race where you should be racing, but you're not. So it's all good. Hopefully we see you in 2 weeks' time at Bathurst, where these cars we will see in real life supercars in 3 weeks' time. The Bathurst and the Camaro take the mountain in the Gen 3 for the first time. So it's going to be interesting, especially with the super soft tyre. They haven't had that format at the moment yet as well. Simulators in the morning. Very nice, very nice. I've always wondered what it's like to fly an airplane. BJ's in bed after his fishing trip. Jeez, what a man. I wish I'd gone on a fishing trip. Last fishing trip I went on was a couple of weeks ago in Queensland. It was pretty good. Caught a couple of fish, a couple of big ones. Seen some people sick. That was also funny. But yeah, it's I'll go around to distract, mate. Please do go around to distract Spud. We've got him here, still sitting in the pits, mate. Sure you're not distracting him yet? I think as well he's coming to Bathurst too, so I'm not too sure if I will see him at Bathurst this year. But I'll obviously keep in contact with him while I'm up there and see if he is he's heading to the mountain. Push forward, houses get bigger, pull back, houses get smaller. Usually that's the way it works, mate. Usually that's the way it works. I wonder if we can see Colin come through the field tonight. It's going to be awkward in the morning once he looks at his phone. Why is it going to be awkward? She'll be right, mate. Collins. P1 at the moment. Obviously they just reset, but I think we're going to see some various times here at Autopolis. We are running a short course as Lewis Atkinson runs into turn 2. For a right-hander and then a double left. So we saw this in the Play 1 GT3 Championship. Oh, Lewis! Oh, what a save! There. Oh, he's still got it. Oh, he's on the grass. He doesn't have it. Jumper ball with Nick Pearce. So coming around here, long right-hander into the left. Normally you'd keep going left for the Autopolis circuit, the normal one. You head up here and you hook up very hard left right there. But this time we are running short course, so we're going to see 1 minute 6 laps. We're probably going to be seeing, oh, I'd say roughly, what do we got? 20-minute race. And I reckon we'll see about 17 laps. 17, 18 laps around that period. Yeah, so we'll just jump on board with Peasy here for his fantastic lap around Autopolis on his soft tyres in the Mustang. Nick, I in fact do have Turn 1 PTSD for Autopolis. We all know that, everyone knows that. Everyone who knows me, who knows that I race at Autopolis knows that. I have PTSD issues from Turn 1. But we won't go into that because that is left in the past from 2021. But yeah. We have Andrew Scott here in the chat giving me some insights on the way we'll see some racing going on tonight. So we'll have Camaros will have long legs tonight. So Camaros will be faster down the straight, but then the Mustang will outbrake him. So that's going to be interesting. And then coming through saying Camaros will have tyre issues, Mustangs will have fuel issues. I think that's the way we've seen it at the moment. Anyone who's in a Mustang can definitely save tyres a little bit better than what the Camaro can. And then yeah, pit entry is another thing here that really catches people off guard. So you come around here and then you'll hook a hard left, and then there's actually an S-bend chicane, but it's very hard left, very hard right, just over there. So I wonder if we'll see any drivers hitting the wall here on pit entry. It's going to be probably one to keep an eye out for in the races here, because we've just got 8:25 here. We should be ready for qualifying. Should be 10 minutes. Another thing that I've noticed as well, track limits penalty set to strong. I'm not a fan. Jeff, whoever's idea it was to have strong track limits, grew demon. But then again, I'm in the comm box, I'm upstairs, I'm watching these cars go past, I'm not in the cars, so you know what, they can do with the track penalties. And then, yeah, it's always interesting to see how they are. Straight line the pit entry, mate. You can, Ando, you can straight line the pit entry. You can straight line it in your 747, mate. We'll see how that ends for you. Actually, if we have anyone in here that was watching the GT3 broadcast when we were here a couple of months back, they were in the rain. So Lewis put his soft tyres on, or medium tyres, I can't remember exactly, but he did put some slicks on. He actually undercut the whole field and ended up spinning on pit exit, and actually someone absolutely nailed and wiped themselves out going into the pit lane because they didn't expect on how wet it was going to be. So that was quite interesting, quite funny to watch, but obviously really bad from a driver's perspective. Probably not a fan. Hello, Mr. George Cook. Welcome, my friend. I am by myself tonight, unfortunately. Kris has come down with a bit of sickness, but we'll be right, mate. We've got 60 minutes of racing coming up in these fantastic Gen 3 Camaros and Mustangs. And speaking of, we have a Camaro on track and then a Mustang on track. Current championship leader, Robert Foster. Andrew is not afraid of barrier, mate. I'm I'm afraid of Barrier after some practice at my speed ring. I'm afraid of him. He's a very scary man. I don't know about George. I don't know how much experience George or Kez has with Barry. Nick even as well. Oh, Steve Foster goes 2/10 faster than his personal best. On the lap we're about to go green for qualifying. So, as I said previously, sit back, relax, and we shall have a good time here tonight at MotorMotion. Yeah, I hope he feels better soon. It's unfortunate. He did come down with a late sickness. Was feeling good this morning and he was keen. Sent him everything this morning and then, yeah, he's unfortunately came down. It was a late message, but she's all good, man. He'll be alright. Lawsuits with Barry. Jeez, mate, I wouldn't want to have lawsuits with Barry. I don't think anyone wants to have a lawsuit with Barry. So we've got Dan Wood here coming off a race 1 win last round at thank you, Mr. Payton. I was very confused with myself on how to pronounce it, but yes, thank you for confirming that one, because that was definitely a bit of a tongue twister for me. There's got Lewis and Monica setting some early pace here. They're trying to get in as many laps as they can. I got Andrew pit reporting for me from Melbourne. He's not even in Japan. How good is that? Saying watch for some undercuts tonight. Medium runners could pit early and try the upwards of 19 laps. Jeez, that will be interesting. 19 laps on this tyre wear. Gee. Yeah, I had no idea it was Peyton. Yeah, I thought it was Patton or Patton. I had no idea it was Peyton. But no, I appreciate that now. It makes me feel better. I had a struggle saying slappers as well. I kept saying Von Dove or something like that. And yeah, no, he goes, it's not that. He goes, it's Von Juvie. I'm like, oh, okay. So yeah, these. He definitely schooled me on that one. I'm just looking at some car setups here too. Cars look to be very different, and then we move to Scotty and the cars looking like a sprint car. He's got that back of that thing spiked so high. Driver's setting some early laps now. Foster's the only one in the 6s. With Monica ever so close behind in a 7 flat. We'll just wait for all the drivers to come through here and then I'll run through the grid at the moment. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much exactly like that. So we'll run through the grid here. We've got Foster on P1 provisional pole at the moment with a 106.757. Set some early pace. He's really charging for that Drivers' Championship there. And, good on him. Didn't have the best of luck in the BMW in the GT3 Championship. It seems like he's really got that Camaro on song as he's nearly a 10th and a half purple. We'll just keep on board with here. See if he can set his better lap here. Dan Wood just goes faster here as he comes past. Oh, he lost a bit of time in that last sector. As Dan Wood, less than half a tenth behind. Oh, Nick Patasso jumps to the top with a 106.688 in that MSR Altapac Castrol tribute livery there for the Mashbuds racing team. He's running a Jaguar helmet, mate. I think you're in the wrong car. But as we jump down the field again, obviously Pitasso had that late charge to the front there, ever so slightly over Foster for P1, and then we got Foster in P2, Dan Wood in P3, Camilleri in P4. Hopefully we see her. Oh, she's so close to getting that pole position. As Foster jumps back to P1. Down in 5th place we have Lewis Atkinson, and then we have Colin P6, Morgan Davey P7, Scott Taylor P8, Peyton in P9. It really feels weird saying Peyton but looking at your name like that, but it should be right, mate. I'll get over it. I'll deal with it as someone's in the grass facing the wrong way. Morgan Davies reversing up the track. Good work, mate. And we had Nick Pears in 10th place, so we're actually missing a couple of drivers tonight. Unfortunately, but hopefully we can see them back for next round at Bathurst. As you know, everyone loves Bathurst. We'll just jump on board here with Dan Wood for his lap here around Autopolis, short course. Never mind, he's going into the pits. Lewis is going into the pits as well. Monica. She's coming into turn 1. We'll jump on board with Monica for a lap. See if she can come in. And actually, speaking of, she's gone faster than 106.3. She's absolutely blistered that time. I totally missed that. We'll jump on board with her and see how she handles this bright pink Mustang around here in the streets of Japan. Saw Monica put in that fantastic lap. She's got a 106.379. She's nearly 2.5 tenths faster than Foster. As the cameraman looks to be a bit drunk there, my friend. Credit there to Monica from Andrew, saying stonking lap. Sorry, stonking lap. I haven't really had much movement at the moment, but we've got a Mustang P1 and P4 with a Camaro sandwich in between, and then another Mustang P6, sorry P5, then a Camaro P6, and then Camaro P7. So cars are really spread out here, but look at the time difference between GLR Scotty and Scott Taylor, and then Colin, 0.001. That is absolutely crazy. In saying that, Colin is about to set a PB here. Maybe we might see him up into P5. Ooh, yes he does. P5 there, jumps up there with a 106.8. That's a solid lap there. Not too far behind Dan Wood. Actually, not too far behind Monica either. Less than half a second, which in the grand scheme of things isn't much time. Your UK commentary friend pronounces it Bathurst, and I had to tell him, mate, good work. We love you. We love you, George. We love you, your sheep, and your tea. We love you, mate. From everyone at MotorMotion and also at Trackstars, we do love you. You Kiwi living English accent speaking man. As that we've also worked out that you're Kiwi but from England. Barth Est. Yeah, right. What a weirdo. That's like the Americans calling it Bathurst. The way it rolls off their tongue is very, very different to me, and I don't like it. You know, same as they say Melbourne and Brisbane. Just, yeah, I don't know. I've seen Foster go purple through that sector, through sector 1. Not too far, not too fast though. Only just in front of Monica, but the question is, can he hold it here? Through sector 2, through turns 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. With that long double apex left-hander into this long right-hander up the hill where you normally had like a left. He's actually down, so that middle sector there is Foster's not a fan of by the looks of it. Monica's called it a day. She's still sitting in the pits. She's thought, nope, I'm set my lap here. Foster comes through the 106.553, so it doesn't better his lap, doesn't move up yet. So we'll see if we can find anyone who's on their lap. We'll jump on board with Nick. Oh, he's having some fully hectic drifts in that Camaro. Look at him. Look at him go. Another person that does a lot of fully hectic drifts is, hello Mr. Nick, that's not a Honda bro, not a lawnmower. It's Mr. Dan Wood. Dan Wood is a very fast driver. I've got a lot of respect for Dan. He races in a lot of series. He does enjoy racing. He's on the controller as well. We got 2 controller drivers in the top 4. So I'm not too sure about anyone else, but I don't really be keeping my eye on Lewis. He's in P7, but I've known Lewis to drive through the field. He does have a lot of pace when he needs it. So he's looks like he had a couple of unfortunate laps there. My apologies, Ando. Yes, I know. I'm eating. It's the same time as dinner. Mum was home late, so it was late to eat. So sorry. Apologies for that. You will hear the fork go like that. I am eating Thai green curry and rice. So I think you might be on the money here, Ando. I'm putting my Monopoly money on Camilleri as well. We've seen her be really good with tyre life, so I wonder if she can make those softs last for quite a while and run a very short undercut. They do have a crosswind coming into turn 1, and then a slight headwind coming into turn 3, so that will be pretty interesting, I think. Depending on how deep they can go into brakes and stuff like that. So we'll go through the results here. Obviously we had Camilleri in P1 in that bright pink Mustang with a 106.379. Absolutely cracker lap there. Foster P2 with a 106.5, Patasso P3, Dan Wood P4, Colin P5, very good showing by Colin there. Scott Taylor in P6, Lewis Atkinson P7, Morgan Davey P8, Peyton P9, and Nick Pease in 10th. So I wonder if we can see, you know, Nick Peasy or Peyton come through the field there. But yeah, it's doing solid work. Yeah, definitely, man. I think everyone does. Ando called it early. She just needs to race smart. She races smart, she'll be able to pull something out of the bag here. But saying that, we will go to a short break. Here, we're nearly ready to go live for race 1. So sit back, relax, grab a bite to eat, have a drink, and then we'll be back very shortly for race 1 here at MotorMotion for the Shawfire Supercar Series in the Brock lobby. We are back and ready to go. Ready for race 1 here at MotorMotion for the Shawfire Supercars Series. Question is, who will we get off the line here into turn 1? Will Monica get the line? Will she get it on the jump? Can she get Foster? Foster's had some good starts at the moment. We've got 3, 4, 5 laps. It's lights out and away we go, as they say in F1, as Foster gets a blinding start here. I think Camilleri just needs to stick in behind. Oh, she's gone deep under brakes there into 1. Light rub against Foster. Patasso follows through, runs Foster wide. Oh, Patasso's gone for the over and under, pushed him on the grass. She's getting absolutely hounded here at the moment by these Camaros. Oh, Patasso gets punched in the back by Dan Wood. Wow, everything's going on here at the moment. Patasso takes an early lead here. Lewis, exactly what I was saying. He's gone from 7th to 4th. Foster, the biggest loser in this one, he's jumped down to 5th place. So, yeah, that little touch there from Monica looks to have unsettled him a little bit. Unfortunately, but he'll dig deep, and he's gone for a move here on Lewis on the inside of the run up into turn 12. I believe it is. Oh wow, that's really tight. They're going too wide through there. Here we have lap 1 of 17. We have Nick Patasso out to an early lead here, just under 8 tenths. Going to be 8 tenths at the end of this front straight, followed by Camilleri, and then Wood in P3 with Foster in P4. P5 we have Atkins and Colin up into P6 as well. Morgan Davey P7. Peyton P8, who's actually had a bit of a early move there. Nick Pearsie P9, and then GLR Scotty in Scott Taylor down in P10. He's probably the unfortunate loser out of that one. Getting involved in what looked to be run wide there at turn 1 on that first lap. But so far, everyone's kind of settled into their rhythm. You can see that time really drop down. The time between Camilleri and Patasso through that mid-sector, but on the straight, that Camaro opens its legs exactly as you're saying, Ando. It really opens its legs and takes off away from Camilleri. Like, look at that time. Just go up nearly 9 tenths. Onwards of a second now. So yeah, wow, that's pretty crazy. Really feel like that Mustang is a bit of a sucker in the straight. But I guess that's where it betters itself in the corner. So I'll bring up some telemetry now, just to see what tyre wear and fuel usage is like. But as always, Nick Patasso out in front. He's absolutely killed his tyres already. Camilleri, I think if she saves her tyres, she'll be able to make a late move here on Patasso. But the question is, will they last here without a stop? So I'm kind of curious to see if we're going to see Nick Patasso absolutely ruin those soft tyres, get out to an early lead, and then come through early pit stop, late charge home. That'll be the deciding factor there. But Camilleri has closed that gap massively to Patasso. I'll jump to Dan Wood here. He's used a little bit less tyres. Yeah, from Camilleri's previous performances, she's shown that she's really been able to save tyres and fuel. I don't know what it is or how she drives, but she does it fantastically. She's phenomenal. You know, they could always say that Ando and Monica are the king and queen of saving tyres. So, but yeah, I'll keep an eye on that coming into the end of it. But at the moment, everyone's kind of line of stern here. No real big battles going on. We got Morgan Davey all over the back of Colin. Camaro v Camaro. Z01 v Z01. V8 versus V8. Foster dropped down to P7, so I wonder what happened to him. It looks like he had a bit of a slow lap there on lap 2, but yeah, unfortunate, but I wonder if we can see a bit of a late charge by him, or if he's going to use all his tyre trying to get back through the field. That's going to be the question. But Pearsy, really unfortunate. What's happened here? 107. That second lap there with a 112 has really hindered him. Dropping back behind the field. Just on 2/10 off the front. But Nick's tyres compared to Monica's are absolutely ridiculous. Currently got the fastest lap as well, so I wonder if she's going to get her first maiden win here in the Shawfire series. She's in the slip now. Maybe she's running a bit more downforce than Nick is. I think it looks like Nick's running less downforce, but then using the rake of the car to his benefit. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. As you can see, Monica's car is kind of really settled on the ground, a little bit low. Dan Wood has a little bit, and then Lewis is sacked to its ultimate bump stops on the floor. And we jump back to Foster. He's got the thing spiked in the back, but not as far as what Scotty does. Mate, I think if Scotty reverses that and he goes down the straight, he'll be able to nearly take off. Be like an aeroplane. He can meet Ando in the sky. Oh, Morgan Davey, what's he done here? He's got damage. Has he tried to go for an early pit stop and missed the pit lane? Oh no, he got spun. Let me jump on board with whoever it was behind him. Foster. Oh, that's a netcode lag. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Oh, speaking of which, Foster's spun too. Gee, it's all happening here. Missed it, see if we can go back longer. No. Oh, he's just letting him past. Good work there by Foster. Very good racecraft and respect for Foster there. Letting Morgan Davey back past, but unfortunately Morgan Davey's got heavy damage, so he'll have to wash that off in a pit stop. I think he may go for a little bit of, I reckon he'll probably go for a little bit of an undercut here, so that'll be the, if he can. Just getting out of the way of Nick Pearce there, as obviously Pearce doesn't have any damage, but Morgan Davey does. Wow, that was exciting. That was a very big lag touch. Morgan Davey carrying on with the damage. He's not really losing too much time there to Nick out in front. So that's interesting. I think Camilla is just buying her time here, but look at the tyre difference between Patasso and then Wood. Yeah, that Camaro in comparison to the Mustang, it kills the tyres. We've got a bit of a battle going on here. Question is though, who's going to make their tyres last? Obviously Camilleri's in with the best shot at the moment for a little bit of a late charge. She uses traction control. Maybe that's where she ends up being able to save her tyres, because she does use traction control. I did notice that. I watched one of her streams, either last round or the round before, and the car doesn't push as much power through the axles on corner exit as what the other boys around her do, because obviously they got no traction control. So maybe that's a way she uses to benefit her. I'm not too sure on how she can save her tyres so much, but yeah, hats off to her. Oh, it just goes up the inside there, and Nick nearly gets a bit of a touch there, nearly gets a move or a sniff. Oh, she goes full send here. She's got this thing absolutely settled. Same as Dan Wood behind. A little bit of understeer there, nearly drifts off the circuit, but I think Dan Wood just waiting to pounce, because at the moment Nick is killing his tyres. I reckon he'll pit probably lap 10, maybe 11. So end of 10, end of 11, I think. I reckon, because there's no chance he'll be able to get to the end of the race on that set of softs. Wow, the tyre usage difference is ridiculous. We've got Colin here, putting Lewis under all sorts of pressure. Colin goes for an over-under move there. That Mustang's better under brakes there, but I wonder if Colin has something to argue with that through this mid-sector. Go full send, mate. Send it up the inside, but don't hit him. DLR Scotty has moved up as well. Peyton up into P7, Foster P8, Peasy P9, Morgan Davey P10. He's made that stop. Wow, that 20-second gap. When will we see Nick pit? I reckon Nick, if anything, he's going to try and kill these tyres and get to lap 17. I think Monica just needs to brace for time here, or go for a move here. Up into the final corner, she sucked out of that slipstream and looked for that move there. Oh, Dan Wood looks for a move as well. Question is, if you were Dan, would you want to go for a move on Monica, or let Monica get the move on Nick first and then get Nick while he's down, essentially? Nick's tyres are absolutely fried. Dead. Bad to the bone. Gone. Nick has to pit. He won't make the end of this with those tyres. He'll have to pit. Oh, runs deep. Did he get a touch there? He's jumping in the pits now. Go back to there. Did he get a touch? Let me see if he got touched there by Camilleri coming into the corner there. No, he just ran wide. Wow. That's Camilleri out into the lead here on lap 13 of 17, 5 to go. Now she's out in front, she's just going to try and drive away from Dan Wood. Wonder if she can put in a fastest lap performance too. That's going to be the question. And then Foster back up to P6. On the charge, as I said, 5 to go, 4.5 to go. to the back of Scott Taylor. But Colin made the move there as well. He's on the charge back to Lewis. He nearly tried a move on P3, but looks like he's dropped back, made a bit of a mistake there. Lap 10, did a 108.1. So, yeah, that's very interesting. But Nick has come out in P8, just in front of Peasy. Wonder if we can have a late charge back to Peyton. But I'll jump on board with Peasy for a lap. We'll see how he takes this in comparison to Nick and see where he loses time or gains time. Very interesting lap there from Peasy. As we see Peyton in the pits, he's got damage. Morgan David might get a position here. Jump up into the front. What's happened here? Looks like there might have been an issue between Camilleri and Wood on the run into turn 1, and Lewis has actually taken that position and flown away. .1 seconds, yeah, looked like something happened there. Apologies that I missed that one. I was too busy looking at damage and other stuff. And I didn't see the leaderboard, but Lewis, the biggest winner out of this one. Even Colin, up into P3, I did call it earlier. Oh, Wood down the inside, what a move there. But damn, well, this has brought GLR Scotty in back into things. First 5 cars are separated by 3.3 seconds. Who would have thought? I had no clue that this would have happened. Nick Patasso back 8.2 seconds behind Foster, but this is the battle we want to keep an eye on here between Wood, Colin and Scott Taylor. Lewis Atkinson at the moment looking like he can take the race win here as he comes past on laps 16 to 17 here at Autopolis short course in Japan. Those fantastic mountains in the distance. I do want to go to Japan one day. 1.4 seconds back is Camilleri, Dan Wood P3, Colin P4, Scotty P5, Foster P6, Patasso P7, Peasy P8, Davey P9, and Peyton P10. Lewis #1 of all time. Yeah, I actually missed on how it happened. I'll have to go to Monica's stream and see what happened. Because as far as I know, she's streaming. But as we come up to the last section of corners here, we have Lewis Atkinson for Hoon Corp Esports about to take the race win here. Big congratulations there to Atkinson. Then Camilleri P2, P3 goes to Dan Wood. P4, Colin and Scott Taylor, P5. Foster in P6. Pitasso, that unfortunate tyre usage really cost him that race there. Having to pit late and then grab a new set of tyres really made him drop down the field. Morgan Davies, 16.5 seconds behind. He had that unfortunate spin there with Foster, and then it looks like he spun again at some point during his laps too. So, a bit unfortunate, but that's racing, I guess. And then Peyton coming across the line in P10. But, mate, Lewis Atkinson took those lollies and thought, thanks, boys and girls, I'm going to run with these. Yeah, that was crazy. But, yeah, big congratulations there to the Hooncorp Esports driver in Atkinson. Coming across the line in P1. Fastest lap going to Nick Pitasso with a 106.4. So Atkinson P1, Camilleri P2, and then Dan Wood rounding out the podium there. Yeah, it was a close one for Monica. Unfortunate there, but I'll definitely be keeping my eye out on her. And see how she can be in race 2. Obviously, reverse grid, 40-minute race. Keep my eye on her and see how it's going to go. Obviously, medium set of tyres as well. I think she may run a short, medium, long, soft stint. Granted on how much she can save in those tyres. So that's going to be an interesting one to watch out for. Morgan Davey, unfortunate runner as well. And then Peyton down the back in P10. But yeah, so what do we think of that one? I'm gonna run over to Monica's stream very shortly and see what happened with her and Dan Wood. Well, I just looked at her stream, and it actually happened in the last section of corners there. She got a tap in the back by Dan Wood, so yeah, unfortunate, but you know you got to take the good with the bad. Unfortunately, that one there, Monica didn't get the best on that one, so yeah, unfortunate, but it's all good. That's racing for you, I guess. Not much else you can do. Did she get a hit? She did. Yeah, so Dan Wood went on the outside. She went defensive and then she moved over in front of him. Oh, very unfortunate, but that's all good. But here we are, ladies and gentlemen. We will have a bit of a break here for in between race 1 and race 2 while they get the grid reset. In the meantime, we'll jump to obviously the MotorMotion promo. So yeah, sit back, relax. All very cloudy conditions incoming, so we'll wait and see on what happens with this one. But yeah, sit back, relax, and we shall be back very shortly. Alright, we're back, and thank you, George. Thank you, appreciate that, mate. Appreciate the words. Have a good sleep, mate, and have fun at work tomorrow. We shall chat later. But, yeah, that was a good race. That Mustang is really cracker on the tyres. That's crazy how much they can save. Summer that's happening here between Dan Wood and David. Got everyone starting on the mediums except for Monica so far. I wonder if she's going to go for a bit of an alternate strategy. We've got 1 minute here, ladies and gentlemen. So, we'll wait and see on how this race goes. I shall be back pretty shortly for race 2 here in the reverse grid for MotorMotion. Ah, I'm back just in time for the race start. So looks like Cavalieri is going to go for the alternate strategy, obviously starting from the back, so we'll wait and see on how it is. Here we go. Where's Mario? We need a Mario. Someone who can do a good Mario impression. Here we go. I'm pretty bad. Don't judge me. We have it, ladies and gentlemen, ready to go for race 2 here at MotorMotion for their Shawfire Supercar Series. Lights are ready to go out here. Peyton on the front row with Morgan Davey. We have 3, 2, 1. Lights out and away we go for race 2 here. 34 laps around Autopolis in Japan. Peyton, early start. Early dominance there in track position. 3 wide. Oh, who's spinning in the back there? That's Atkinson. Looks like he got hit from behind or the side or got squeezed or something. Oh, he hit the brakes on the grass. That's not what you want to do, my friend. You never want to hit brakes while you're on the grass. Unfortunately, but there we have Peyton up in first. Peasy P2. Patasso P3. Foster P4. I wonder if Foster's going to be a hard charger in this one. Scotty in P5, Colin in P6, Dan Wood P7, Morgan Davey P8, Monica in P9, and then obviously Lewis in P10. We have some drivers shuffling around here just in front of Monica. She really needs to use those soft tyres to her advantage. Tasha, I'm in P3. What happened to Colin? Was that Colin? No. Easy. Was that P2? Yeah, P2. Tasha runs deep, pushes Peasy off into the sand. Probably not what he wanted this early on in the race. Lewis jumps off those mediums onto the soft set. Can he get 33 laps out of those soft tyres? That is the question. I don't reckon he can. He's probably going to have to bid for fuel too. He's used the mediums for a lap. Now he used the softs for 17, and then he'll pit for fuel, and then use the softs for another 17. So he's gone for a medium soft, unfortunate. So with the other drivers, we're going to see do one strategy. In Nick's case, he's going to be doing two. We shall wait and see on how this eventuates, but the soft tyre runner in Monica, I'm surprised she hasn't moved up. She needs to make as many moves as she can early on. I'm going to keep an eye on this throughout this first stint. Even Dan Wood hasn't really moved. I think they're probably down. The only downfall is for the Mustangs is they lose out on the straight, then they gain time back through this midsection, but the problem is there's nowhere to pass in the midsection. You can set yourself up, but yeah, it's very hard to set yourself up for a pass, especially with such a tight circuit like Autopolis. Peyton's out to an early lead here. I wonder if we're going to see an undercut. Question is, who's going to be the person in the undercut? I'm going to guess it's going to be Dan. Because he's going to want to get out of this pack and move up as fast as you can. But the other thing we need to watch is the gap between Lewis and Peyton in front. So it's currently 30.2 into turn 1 here on lap 4. I'll flick back to that at the end, but yeah, we'll definitely wait and see and keep an eye on that one. So Peyton under all sorts of pressure here from Nick, but as Ando said earlier in the broadcast, the Camaro is definitely a lot weaker under brakes, which is probably not what he wants or what he's favoured. But I guess you kind of got to do what you got. But Nick has a run here. One Peyton coming into turn 1. Runs deep under brakes. That's braking. Wow, that's very. Those brakes are terrible there from that Camaro. Dan Wood makes a move on Colin there into turn 3. Hello Jeff, you can join me now my friend. I see your message. You can join me all you want, sir. Currently experiencing frame drops in the Discord, which is very nice. But That's all good. Apologies. Lap 6:34. 18 laps to go. Nick under heavy pressure here from Foster. Scotty Taylor's actually moved up into P3. And in saying that, welcome Mr. Jeff from the well-known Mr. Squirrel. How you going, my friend? If your mic's connected, your mic is not connected. Gap here for Lewis to Nick is dropped to 29.1, so that is only dropped by what would be a second in 2 laps, 1.2. So yeah, that's he's gone faster there. 107.3. So we saw the soft tyre runners doing 106s. So I think Lewis just needs to make the most of these soft tyres that he's got. Camilleri's all over the back of Colin. On the run here into 1, looking for a pass on Colin. Will she dive down the inside? No, she doesn't. Hey, there we go. You turn your headset on, mate. What's going on, mate? I'll always be happy for you to join me, mate. He got pushed off by Nick. Nick went real deep in brakes with those Camaro brakes because apparently they're not the best. So yeah, Nick went real deep into 1, and Peasy was giving him space, and then Nick just kind of drifted out, and lo and behold, Peasy ended up in the sand. He was on the run into 1 on lap 1, and he braked while he was on the grass, and we all know how that ends. We all know how that ends when you try and hit the brakes while you're on the grass. But since pitting, he has dropped that gap down by 5 seconds to Foster, who's actually just overtaken Nick on the run into turn 1. So that's been interesting. But Nick. Yeah, Foster's got nearly a 100-point lead over Monica, who's down in P7 too. So I think he didn't have the best race 1 though. He had a very bad netcode hit with Morgan Davey on the main straight. So because of that, he did pull off to the side and let Morgan Davey pass. So yeah, but GT7 connection at its finest. But yeah, it's I'm surprised here as well. Monica is on the soft tyre where everyone else is on the medium, so she's the only soft runner at the moment, but she hasn't really made up many positions. She's only made up 2. So yeah, the question is can she make them last as long as the medium runners can? And in saying that, she just jumps into the pits. Maybe she might run a medium middle stint here. I'm not too sure. Yeah, medium's compulsory tyre. No compulsory amount of laps, so just as long as she uses it. But she'll probably brim the tank up here. But it's kind of put me off guard here because I didn't expect anyone to be pitting this early, unless obviously they had damage. But yeah, she didn't have damage or anything, so maybe she's gone for a long stint here and then maybe a short one. I'm not overly sure because she can get 17-ish, 18 laps out of the fuel. So yeah, she was fastest too on the soft tyre in qualifying as well. So that was a mega lap by her. I think she did a 106.3 in quali. So it's very pink. But yeah, Foster's out in front there, 1.1 second lead over Nick. But yeah, Nick gets absolutely shafted because he's on controller and the Camaro. So not only is it controller tyre wear, but it's also one of the bad wearing tyre cars, as you can see. Dan Wood is in the Mustang and he's got half the tyre wear. So no, mate. He's still on a PS4. He's still on a PS4. Either that or you guys don't run ×6 tyre wear. But anyway, that's a conversation for Nick. Oh. So yeah, he had a good start to race one, and then I think he either made a mistake or something happened. But yeah, he's pushing through now, attacking the back of Nick, who's, as I said, tyres are absolutely shot, half worn when everyone else has got half of half his wear. Morgan Davey has jumped in the pits as well, so it looks like he might be running on a similar strategy towards Monaco's, but just alternate tyres. No, so we are missing Ando. PJ Mack apparently slept in because he went fishing. And then obviously we had Rick missing as well. And Span. So, and Attard. So Shane Attard as well. So that may spice up the championship in the teams a little bit, but I think yeah, well, looking at this here, Monica's actually got a 6.6 second gap over Morgan Davey. She was actually behind him before he came into the pits. More than likely. She seems very strong through this mid-sector, where a lot of the other guys are stronger coming out through 1 out of 3. So, I'm not a fan of Autopolis, and I've seen Autopolis be raced in 2 seasons, and I'm glad I'm in the combox. But it was. So yeah, they actually turn left up here. So you go to the right side of the circuit and then hook a left and then go down the hill. So down the hill over there. But yeah, it was raining, it was hectic, and that one Lewis actually did a bit of an undercut godly move. He came in when the track was kind of still damp, put the softs on, or mediums, whatever he put on, and then he actually ended up leading by like 15 seconds. So yeah, he put in a masterclass in that one. So that was a really good strategy call there by him. But yeah, he was close. He actually did in qualifying too. He put the softs on, and then as he crossed the line, it absolutely bucketed down in rain. Yeah, it is at the moment. Scotty and Dan Wood, their tyre wear's roughly about the same. Fuel on the Camaro is a little bit better, but Nick will see pitting in the next probably 5 laps or so because his tyres are going to be shot. So we may see him do maybe run. Yeah, he has gone purple there. Obviously, Lewis has done a 107.2, so Lewis is on the move too. He's got that lead down to 26 seconds. So when he pit on lap 2 or 4, that was 32 seconds. So he's pulled 6 seconds off the leaders, and if pit stop is like 15 or 23 seconds or something around that. It's something preposterous here. You would have known from the GT3 Championship, the pit time is huge. Yeah, well, obviously they're 2 controller players, as I said earlier, so Nick and Dan are both on controllers, but yeah, Dan, he's got the Mustang horsepower behind him and he's really looking after those tyres there, but yeah. Oh, it's gone around the outside. If it pulls off. Oh, he's gone the over-under. Nick will open his legs here. He's getting... Yeah, definitely. Yeah, obviously I wasn't here for season 1, so I wasn't exactly sure how the car differences were between obviously seasons. So I think it's Yep. Was that like one of the? Was that like, yeah, it was, and Nick's about to lose out here to Scotty Taylor too, so I wonder if Scotty can do a bit of a switchback here as well. He can. Yeah, that is a good livery. Yeah, so he's got 17 laps here, 2 litres of fuel remaining, so I wonder if he's going to just try one stop. Well, I think he'll be able to, because he obviously went that whole race on softs the last one. So he'll fill the tank up, chuck a set of softs on and be on the hunt. But what I want to watch here is where Lewis is. So Lewis has actually stopped as well. So he's jumped in, he's going to be filling the tank up and chucking probably a new set of softs on and then try and charge back through. He did 1 lap because because when he hit the brakes on the sand, he ended up spinning and was 10 seconds behind the leaders. So he thought, so he thought, I'll put it in the pits and then we'll see. But we got him in chat. He goes, good, listen, keeping me awake while racing. No worries, mate. That's what we're here for. Lewis, he's, but definitely. But Monica's actually overtaken Dan Wood as well. So she's got half a tank, so she's going to short fuel her next stop, I think. Lewis, yes. Yeah, so Lewis has come out 19.6 behind Dan, but he's on softs where Dan's still on mediums. But yeah, Monica's, what's the time difference there? 15, 17, 19, 20 seconds between Monica and Dan Wood. Wow, that time difference there. So she may jump into third here. Yeah, so she's jumped up into third, but I don't know if she'll be able to make the end of the race on these tyres. Not tyres, sorry, on fuel. So she may do a soft stint at the end. So short fuel, do some tyres, and then do a soft stint at the end. But at the moment, the person she'll be fighting for is Foster here in P5, and there's 9 seconds between those two. So yeah, that's going to be interesting. Yeah, they will. I reckon they will. They did in race 1. He was just obviously unfortunate with Morgan Davey, and then he got absolutely hounded off the race start. So he got a good launch on the outside of Monica into 1, but then he got hounded between 2, 3, 4, and 5, and he got yeah, he just lost positions pretty much instantly. Went from what was 1st to 7th on the first lap. But yeah, shoot. Just a tad. I would say yes, unless they feel like. Well, Woodsy's actually gone out, back out on mediums, so he's got medium. So maybe he feels he's a little bit more consistent on the mediums there. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that is a good shout. Where Nick's also got medium as well, so he'll go medium for this one. I don't know if he'll make the end. I don't think he did, because he didn't make the end in the first race. So obviously Autopolis, a lot of corners, is a really high tyre wearing track, so that's definitely probably not what he wants. But yeah, so he'll probably stop again, maybe a lap or 29-ish, depending on how they last. So actually, being mediums, they might last to the end. So the last race was soft. So yeah, they'll have enough fuel to make the end. Yeah, Monica won't, and Morgan Davey won't. So they'll have to stop again. Yeah, I reckon they'll pop out around this vicinity somewhere, P6, 7, somewhere around there. So Nick has pit. He pit on lap 18. Oh, Peasy. Yeah, he did. So Peasy will run to the end. Lewis will run to the end. Peyton. Yeah. Which we also worked out. I was pronouncing his name wrong. Because I thought it was like Patton or Patton or something like that, and he goes, "Nope, it's Peyton." Yeah. But I do like the livery on that car. Foster's out to a 6.9 second gap over Scotty, so that's interesting. Yeah, I think it was a bit unfortunate in the GT3 because he was in the BMW. I think it was a little bit down on power in that thing, because I know that's a little bit down on power compared to the other cars, but no, he did pretty well. But I think Foster's been quick so far through Seaside, and then obviously at Kyoto too. So yeah, it's good to see. He does have the car set up a little bit different to the other guys too. Yeah, he's currently in Melbourne. I think last time he was in Singapore or something like that. No, he missed it. Lewis got it on the last round. Lewis got it by 3 points, I think it was, in the last round. Yeah. Yeah. But I think we all know Morgan Davey and how quick he is. So, but no, he's doing well so far. But as I said, he will need a pit again, and Monica will need a pit again too. So that'll be an interesting one. I think Monica might just be able to fuel in the stop, not take tyres, so then her fuel's a little bit, stop's a little bit shorter. Yeah, I think Scotty Taylor might be on here for a podium. This might be his first podium in this Shawfire series, and then even Colin as well. He's had a really good showing tonight. Didn't have the best run at Kyoto, but I think he's going to have a good one. But we can see here Dan Woods got past Nick. I think he got back past him, or actually no, he was always in front of him. Nick opening. Look at the legs on that thing. I'm experiencing buffering, so I apologise if that is buffering, ladies and gents. Good old connection issues, apparently, but should be right. No, they were a bit butchered on Sunday with TS3 and TS2, obviously, as you know yourself. But yeah, so what I could see, there were people wall riding on one screen, and then I got a point of view from the actual driver itself that was apparently wall riding, and he was half a car length away from it. So yeah, it was an interesting one. So, but GT7 is a very good Gran Turismo game. Wink, wink. I think what Nick's doing there, because obviously he's in a slipstream, the brakes are pretty bad. He is pulling out to give himself some wind, so it affects him into turn one, and it helps him slow down. So he'll do that just to slow the car down a little bit. Either that or let the tyres cool down, or something like that. But I think it's more or less to try and help him in the wind, because obviously if you're in the slipstream, you hit the brakes, it will drag the car towards the car in front. So he'll pull out, grab a cop of the wind, and then pull the brakes on, and then shift back in behind the car. It's definitely probably something he needs in the Camaro, because from what I've seen at the moment, the Camaro is definitely not good on brakes at all. So we can see Monica coming in pits here, and then Foss is all over the back of Morgan Davey here, coming into turn one. Will he see him go for a dive here? No, they're both in Camaros. I reckon if he was in a Mustang, he was going to be on for that move there, but he may get him into three. Got a really good run out. Fakes the move, lets him know he's there. Just jump on board with these guys and see the differences in how Foster races in comparison to Morgan Davies. You can see here, Foster gets the really wide late entry, late apex on the corner, where Morgan Davey holds that apex. Yeah, this part of the circuit is actually really hard to get right as well, with that double apex left-hander. Sets himself up. That was a very nice setup there. Deep under brakes. Very nice. That's... Oh, Morgan Davey dives into the pits there. So, Scotty will be on here for P2 at the moment. Colin, 3.5 seconds behind. he does have the highest rake of the field. Foster's was pretty up there for Kyoto, but his is a little bit more settled now. Not as much, it's still up there, but yeah, Scotty's is definitely up there with the rake. But whatever works, I guess. So if he's happy with that one, he's done some consistent low 107s, which is really quick for him. He looks like he's found some pace in the car here at in round 2, so that's probably a very good thing for him. And Colin, I'm very impressed with Colin up here into P3. We've got lap 28 of 34. We have 9 laps to go here at round 3 for the Shawfire Supercars Series. Round 4, as I said, unfortunately won't be streamed, as I will be in Bathurst myself. So, a bit unfortunate, but I'll be getting drunk on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday before I do some officialing over the weekend. But yeah, it's hopefully going to be good this year. I think it to be pretty alright, but maybe they might do a delayed broadcast for this one. Then we can have. It is only 2 hours for me, so it's not too bad. Yeah, Monica's jumped out in P6 here, so Lewis is in P8. That second stop really hindered him. Yeah, they're both on softs as well, so that's going to be a bit interesting. But biggest loser here at the moment is Morgan Davey. He's still got 5 laps to go on those softs, and they are pretty much dead. He was. Yeah, that's second. No, that's second. So he stopped either 1 or 2 laps after Monica did. So she took the mediums and he's gone the soft. And he's obviously just taken fuel where she's taken soft tyres. So now she's trying to claw back whatever time she can to Nick while his mediums are on the process of going out the window. As obviously he's doing high 107s, low 108s. Monica is on for a PB here apparently, so she'll be on for a 106, 107. Yeah, I have noticed that from his car. So Nick does love a little bit of a slidey car. So, but Foster, absolute masterclass here at the moment. Nearly 8-second gap here over GLR Scotty. But he'll be 2 on the trot here. Actually, no, he won't because he didn't win the first race. He would. I reckon he would have. It would have been between him and Monica. But I actually watched Monica stream back coming into this corner here. She took the inside line, and then as she moved out, she got a bit of a bump back from Woodsy, and they ran off into the dirt. And then Lewis was just like, "Thank you, see ya." So it's not hard to do, but you know you've got to take what you can get. But Lewis has actually pushed on and on the back of Pearsy here, so they're on the same tyre, but Lewis is really flying at the moment in that Mustang. I do believe they're in a couple of other leagues. They haven't merged over to Trackstars yet, but I will expect them over there quite shortly, I'd say. Yeah, obviously that turn 1 spin did really hinder him, unfortunately. But yeah. I'd say he would, with 3 laps to go at the end of this one. Just needs to get close enough and set himself up, as that wind has actually changed direction. So that's a tailwind going into turn 1. So that'll really help the Mustangs in a straight line, but also hinder them in the braking zones. Foster's got a massive gap. Yeah, well, obviously, Dan Wood is someone you don't want to be close to you while you're racing. I was actually watching the Trackstars Bathurst 1000 back from last year in the first stint, and it was me and him first and second, starting first and second obviously, and then I hit the wall up the top on the first lap, so I had to come in and repair the damage. But then towards the end, it was actually me battling with him, and yeah, I was definitely... Hart was racing. He's one of those guys where he knows where you are and he's got a lot of experience behind him, so he knows where to put a car and how to use it. So for someone that's on control lorry, he's got a lot of experience. But he's closed that gap down probably about half a second in that last lap, so I think Colin may come under pressure here. He might be a little bit out of stretch, I think, but anything is possible. Yeah. Monica's got a 6-second gap either side. Lewis has actually passed Peasy here for P7. Morgan's... Yeah, definitely. And then we've got Morgan Davey in a battle pack with his tyres. He may... I think he might. It'll be very close because he's 2 seconds a lap faster than... So he's doing 108s and Morgan Davies doing 110s. So I reckon he'll catch him. Don't know if he'll pass him, but it's going to be very close. But we see here, we'll jump back to the front here. We've got Foster coming around the last corner here. Lap 34 or 34 for round 3. Race 2. Yeah, commanding win. Big ups to Foster. Solid win. Absolute stellar performance there. And Scotty. Yeah, that was a hard charging Dan Wood there. Monica comes across in P6, nearly catches the back of Batasso there. Lewis across in P7, pulls back whatever he could out of that recovery. Unfortunate lap 1 mistake there from Lewis on the grass into the braking zone, ended up spinning and off the grass there. Peyton 4/10 there. Morgan Davey just keeps Peyton at bay there, coming through, but Foster absolutely fantastic. Masterclass, couldn't have put a foot wrong for Diffusion Race Engineering there. There's going to be some solid championship and team points, especially because Monica finished down in P6, so he's definitely going to extend that gap there. And then obviously Nick Patasso may close the gap to Monica for P2, but yeah, that's going to be solid points there for Foster and Diffusion. But the other thing as well, good team points there for Mitch Collin too. They're obviously leading the teams championship. after round 2 by what was 53 points. So yeah, coming through in P3 in front of CP, who's currently second, is pretty considerable there as well. So going to extend that one. Yeah, unfortunately for Morgan Davey, couldn't really do much there. I think he's running out of what's he running out of? Black Rose Racing. That's the one. I knew that. Yeah, I knew I knew the team. I couldn't spit it out, but yeah, no, he's doing pretty well. But no, top job there. And Monica actually come through with the fastest lap, 106.333. So she matched her time in qualifying for race 1. Yeah, so top job there from her. 2 tenths faster than the next car on circuit. So yeah, solid work. But unfortunate. Bit of an alternate strategy. Probably didn't pay off, but could have worked in the end. But Foster, no one was stopping Foster in that one. He was doing a solid work there. But yeah, driver of the day. I don't know. It's going to be a pretty hard one for me, to be honest, considering the results are pretty much flipped from race 2. I think. Mm, mm. I think I think I'll probably have to agree with you there. Obviously, didn't have a good first race, but then that second race he kept it on track. Didn't make any mistakes. Had Dan Wood under pressure there right at the end. So yeah, I probably will give it to Mitch Collin as well. You know, solid points as well, and pretty decent fastest lap too. Just kept it consistent and kept it on the road. But no, hats off to these guys and girls, and solid work there. But unfortunately, that's another round of Shawfire Supercars done for this week. Obviously, 2 weeks' time is the next race, going to the fantastic Bathurst. Hmm. Yes, we do have TCR Cup there. Obviously, we have George and Nick in for that one. Whether it'll be Saturday, Sunday, that'll be up to them. Just keep an eye out on the YouTube, obviously, for that one. So, see that one come live. I wonder if Stephanie will make a cameo appearance there. We do have Steph. She's a new commentator on board. She's still getting the hang of ropes of things, but she'll be on board, full guns blazing very shortly. So yeah, it'll be good to hear her come in and give the boys a bit of hand. But yeah, unfortunate obviously for Kris. This week did come down with a bit of a sickness. But yeah. Mm, yeah, definitely. So, but other than that, I think that's a wrap there for that one. But no, thank you for joining me in the box here. Obviously, you were getting a bit bored down there in the pit lane, so you had to come up. But yeah, solid work there from Lewis for race 1 and Foster for race 2. But for that, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for round 3 of the Shawfire Supercars Series here at MotorMotion for the Brock Lobby. Catch us live in what would be 4 weeks for a live broadcast. Whether or not they do a delayed broadcast for Bathurst, that'll be on the YouTube if it is. So just keep an eye out for that. As always, like, subscribe, follow us on Facebook, and obviously our partners as well in Trackstars Racing Series. So they do race GR2s over there, and obviously we got the Kyoto 500 this weekend. But that is a wrap there for me and Jeff here. Thank you to everyone for joining in, and we shall catch you all next round.